questions request video. And yes, I feel very fluffy and furry right now. Fluffy. Furry. Alright. It sheds a lot. Question 1. If you found 20 of your enemies shrunken down to bug size in your room at night, explain how you would go around smashing them under your bare feet. I would dance on top of them and sing Piss All Over Your Grave while doing it. It's an awesome song. It's an amazing song. Question 2. If you saw one of them walking below right by your feet, would you smash them? Squish them, I mean. Or let them get away? Squish, they're an enemy. Why wouldn't I squish them? If one was sitting in your favorite chair, would you sit on him? How long would you stay sitting on them? No, I don't feel like getting bit in the ass. I guarantee you one of them, or all of them, would try and bite me in the ass. So no. What part of your feet would you squish them under, and why? Probably my heel, just simply because it's the hardest part of your foot, for the most part anyway. Especially when you're walking on your feet all bloody day. What toe would you use to smash the mother? Big toe? If one of the shrunken men fell into one of your shoes, what would you do? I would get my cat. My cat would eat the fucker. And probably toss it around for a while. And meow a lot. If one of the tiny guys got stuck between your toes, how would you squish them? Wiggle. What kind of bug would they remind you of stepping on? And why? Worms. Why? Humans are pinkish colored. Worms are pinkish colored. Some worms are also brown. Some humans are also brown. Ta-da. Would you prefer to squish them barefooted or with shoes on? Probably shoes, as I don't particularly want to get my foot bitten. And I don't have my shoes around right now, so I can't show you the sole of my foot. I mean, shoe. Would you care if your tiny enemy was in pain from being crushed under you? What do you think they would look like after you stepped on them? I would prefer if they were in pain. Again, they're your enemy, not your friend. If it's your friend, then no, I wouldn't want them in pain. But enemy, yes, please be in pain. And they'd probably look like a little mini squished cherry. Would you keep one of them as a slave and make him rub your feet and clean between your toes? No, they don't deserve to touch my feet. Period. Let's say you had just gotten back from school or work and you wanted a foot rub. Because of the size difference, what do you think your giant feet would smell like to your tiny enemy? Probably salt water and coconut. Would you make a bug-sized enemies worship you like a goddess? How? I'd probably just kill them all, so probably not. But if I did make them worship me like a goddess, I'd pretty much be like, I'd treat it like the Christian cult. Ta-da! I could do whatever the fuck I want to, and it's still a blessing. When you smash one of them, would you stomp or stomp and twist? I just stomp them. No point in stomp and twist. Unless you're trying to, like, stomp, twist, and dance, or something. Let's say one of your tiny enemies is making fun of you from the ground and saying you have really stinky feet. Would you trap them under your giant bare foot and force them to smell your feet? If so, what part of your foot would you trap them under, and how long would you leave them there? No, I would just scare them or get the cat. Cats are notorious for playing with little tiny things that move. Really notorious for it. Now let's say you found one of your tiny enemies super glued to the inside bottom of a glass. Now your best friend offers you 7,000 to pee in the glass and drown the little guy in your pee. Would you do it? Yep, that's basically free money. And you lose one annoying person. If you were going away and suddenly you feel something in your sock, now you realize that your tiny enemy was careless enough to hide inside your sock before you put it on, and now he's trapped inside with your foot. Would you leave him inside all day? No, I don't want my foot bitten. That'd be like walking around with a rat in your shoe. It's gonna bite your foot. That's not gonna feel very good. I mean, human teeth aren't exactly clean. Chances are it's gonna get infected. If your best friend offered you 700 to take one of the shrunken enemies and throw them in your microwave and turn it on for 3 minutes, would you do it? Fuck yes, that would be freaking awesome to see. That would be really, really, really intense. Because that would actually be really interesting to see, like, what exactly would happen to a human? A little tiny human in a microwave. Let's say someone offered you 8,000 to take one of your enemies, put them in your mouth, and chew them up to mush them, then spit into a glass. Would you do it? Do you think it would be painful for the tiny guy? Yep, and most definitely. If it wasn't painful, then it would have to be an enemy that didn't feel pain. Or they would die on impact if you bit down on their head. In which case, no, they wouldn't feel pain. If someone offered you 5,000 to throw one of the tiny enemies in your mouth and swallow them whole, would you do it? How long do you think the little guy would survive inside your belly? Describe. What you think his last moments would be like after you swallow him. No, I don't feel like getting my throat cut or bitten, or clawed, because chances are he'd try to crawl out. And no interest. But chances are, if he did make it to your stomach acid would just disintegrate the shit out of him, and he would die painfully. You know, like when someone gets acid thrown on their fucking face. Their face melts off. So yeah, there's that sort of strange question request to do with tiny enemies.